Good morning, class. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, sir.
Mr. Jiba.
I don't carry my
Mr.
juice again, man.
Good
Mr.
morning.
Jiba, what's happening now? We are just here. This is 17 minutes after 10.
I just came up, oh. I'm looking for power bank to charge my phone. I slept at last night.
Okay.
Successful.
Ma, Madam Mata, good morning.
Good morning. Well done.
Thank you.
So let's just use this opportunity. That's well, I'm saying one assignment. So is it from who?
Mr. Jiba,
Sir?
what the course rep will do, well, you are not the only one confused here about this assignment of it, you know. So I think course rep should do us a favor by listing
Addressing
out
that.
the assignments that are still on ground. Just pour them, he should resend them back again on our personal group so that we can assess them and know that these are the ones pending, these are the ones we have done, you know.
Yeah.
Because myself, I'm confused, so I don't know. At times, I will just see something assignment. I was, which one they give this one?
At all.
So he should just tell us. He should list down the name, the assignment questions, and the course titles, and the whatever we need to know. That's just it to help us.
Me, I
Not a
don't
small
even know
mission.
my group. Oh, I don't even know my group.
Then, are you sure you are still a student?
Tell me something.
Abu,
And then give me
Sir?
group. Oh.
good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Manasseh.
Thank you so much, my brother. I understand this assignment and everything. I think maybe we should one of these days hold a group chat, maybe on our personal platform there. We should
Yes.
very well. So that's exactly what we're discussing.
Because like joke, next month is exam, so.
Yes. All right. Discussing here is not too sweet because of they are recording it. If you look at your phone or your laptop, you see where there's the rec. This thing is there. So let it not look as if we are inefficient in terms of what we are doing or we are confused. So we can discuss things on our private this thing there.
I got you, bro. I got you.
Thank you so much, my brother. Take care.
Thank you.
Good morning, class.
Good morning, Deputy.
Good morning, Desmond.
Good morning, Desmond.
I'm not any deputy, I'm just a concerned classmate.
We are the ones assigning you as a deputy.
I've communicated with the
And
lecturer.
so you have no objection.
I've communicated with the lecturer, so he said that he's joining us soon. The connectivity is giving him headache, but he's about to join us.
Okay.
Yes.
Glory be to God.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah.
Mr. Desmo and network connector. Whether
Yes, DG, but when you started to speak, the lecturer confused her. Madam, your voice sounding like a woman. So to try adjust your voice.
It's okay.
Mega, let me pass by him. Again, Hannah.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
How are you doing?
We are fine, sir.
Fine.
Okay. Please just give me 3 minutes, please. Let me just do something. I got
It's
you 3
okay, sir.
minutes.
Yes, sir.
I'm doing lecture. No lecture. Ma, they may do a lecture somewhere. They don't cost way more.
I can't know like what Kumaga.
Jig Bambi Hoga.
So, walk, I look at lecture. What do you so so low, so I take a $10.
Hello. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, everybody.
Good
Good
morning,
morning,
sir.
sir. How was your
Morning,
night, sir?
It was okay. We thank God, and yours.
Fine, thank God. Too. God is faithful.
All right. So let's continue from where we stopped yesterday. Before we commence, can somebody or someone be kind enough to give us a recap of an idea of what you actually got yesterday? Maybe 1 or 2 sentences of what your take home yesterday. Let's start from there. Yes. Just unmute yourself and then you can talk to us. We handled about 3 topics yesterday or thereabout. So who is going to be kind enough? Whatever you remember, whatever you gained or you learned from our interaction yesterday, just 1 or 2 sentences. Yes, anybody? Nobody want to talk. Icheme John.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, hand. I expect to start talking now.
Okay. It's okay, sir. Good morning. Yesterday we learned about several topics ranging from social standard in procurement and talked about the objective and what we are to expecting from there. And we talked about what is social standard, which we say that is a value set within the particular social group that govern the appropriate behavior on a specific social locations, talking about working conditions and fundamental rights of the workers in a working environment. And we equally talked about yesterday, we talked about laws that govern the labor laws. We talked about several of them, and then the unilateral agreement in the world that obtainable in the world, and the world have been the country that signatory to that, and then almost all the labor laws are the same. Talked about them. We talked about a procurement regulation yesterday too, and then the procurement law. We talked about that. We talked about the hierarchy of public procurement legal framework yesterday too, and legal regulation framework for public procurement, and several others, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. To add value to that.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Morning, sir.
Yesterday, sir, we talked about social standards in procurement. We emphasize on social being the relationship that the cordial and positive relationship that goes on or that is established in our workplaces or in our environments, and the standard being the norms and behavioral patterns, so to say. We talked about equality. I'm trying to get that word. We talk about equality. Sorry, sir. I'm trying to pick that word. Where I gave an instance of someone going to buy substandard products from China. Why they have very standard products, but they go there to get cheap ones to come and get more profit. So that is what I can remember for now, sir. So many.
All right. Thank you very much for that, Rika. Okay, today.
Okay.
Okay, you want to add value too? Okay, just the last one. Go ahead.
We spoke about what procurement is all about.
Yeah.
And then the things involved, the things that can be procured, goods, works, and services. And we spoke about the 5 R's in procurement: right quality, right quantity, right price, right time and place, and the right source.
Yeah. So it's like the network is also giving problem. Are you people hearing me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now, sir.
We can hear you now.
Okay, sorry. The line was somehow fluctuating. I think what Lucy was talking, but I couldn't hear what she was saying. Okay. Okay. Are you seeing my slide now?
Yes.
We can see your slide.
All right. Thank you very much. From the contribution, even though I was not hearing most of what we are saying, but I think it shows that some of us have ideas of what we did yesterday. But it's very imperative for us to always try to review immediately what we may have learned in class so that you will not forget over time. So yesterday, like you have rightfully said, we dealt with what is a procurement, right? And the various laws that governs procurement, right from international laws to through the national laws, and then the three stages of a law formations. Okay, then we went ahead to talk about the rights that are associated with procurement. So because of time, let's go to today's topic. Today we'll be looking at human rights in procurement. Human rights in procurement. And we'll be looking at that. You'll be able to understand what are the human rights in the workplace environment. Then we should to identify the various types of human rights risks or risks that are associated with human rights in supply chain and how this can be applied through using a due diligence. You know, in the workplace environment, many of us, we don't understand, we don't know what our rights are. Okay, we don't know our rights. So, because we don't know our rights, we allow so many things. Because we don't know our rights, we allow so many things. And because of that, so many things get damaged. Some of us will get angry and will leave the work. Some of us will get angry and destroy or contribute to. In fact, let me say, some of us we get so angry to the point that we now decide to sit on the fence. Whatever that happens in the system does not concern you. Given so many roles are going on, so many things that you're supposed to be able to undo and take care so that you not spoil the system. You just keep quiet and overlook it because your rights that may have been abridged over the time. And some of us, we just decide to say, no, before I leave, I will run this system down because they denied me my rights. So, and this will also not only affect you as a person, but will equally affect the organization as a whole. And by implication, it will equally affect the entire country. So the way and manner rights are treated in the workplace environment will go a long way to affect the efficiency and effectiveness of the organization, or affect the organization set goals. And by implication, it is very important that we try as much as possible to make sure that all these
We still have the floor.
It might be network problem.
We can't hear you, sir. The network is very bad.
For his slide to remain in one place up to this very moment for this number of seconds, it shows that network is bad.
Yes, the network is not good.
The network is bad. The network is bad.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir.
Sorry, something came up. Sorry. So it is important for us to understand human rights wherever we operate. Either you are the one that's actually affected. Hello? Can we mute ourselves, please? Please let the host help me mute those people. So it is very important for us to appreciate what is human rights. Human rights is not only from the organization to the employees, but also from the employees to the organizations, and then up between employees, and then of course between the organization and the other stakeholders as a case may be. So in this particular module, we'll be looking at the different types of human rights in the workplace environment, and most especially as it affects supply chain or procurement, as the case may be. So what is human right? So that human rights are universal legal guarantees protecting individuals and groups against actions which interferes with fundamental freedoms and human dignity. You see, it's a universal language. It's a universal declaration. What is obtained in every other country all over the world? Because there are treaties, some of which we are going to mention. There are treaties that are given the lay down, the foundation for human rights. And everybody is expected to follow these rights of employees or rights of stakeholders as it concerns every businesses or investments. So rights, human rights are inherent in all human beings. There are things that I feel that this is like just like a child in the house, in the family. The husband has his rights, the wife has his rights, the children has his rights, the toddler has his rights, the landlord has his rights, the tenant has his rights. So this thing is in us. We know that, oh, it is necessary for this person to be like this or to do this or do that. So we all know this. So many of us, we are conscious of rights of the people we relate with. You know your rights, I know my rights, and everybody knows his or her rights. So now, human rights are applicable to all human beings. Human rights, in fact, as you know, consciously or unconsciously, we have also the animal rights. In the global environment, in the developed economy, there are animal rights. You know, but here in Nigeria, maybe we are unconsciously, we give some rights, privilege to animals. But even though we don't appreciate it as much as they do in developed economy. So if animals can have rights, then how much more we human beings? So we equally have rights, as it were. So there are rights everywhere. So it is a universal language, like I said, and it's applicable to all human beings. Rights are equally valuable. There's no hierarchy between human rights. The fact that you are a rich man does not mean that you have a privilege to abuse the established rights. You don't have that. So there's that equality of rights. what is good for the goose is also good for the gander. Then university should be enjoyed by everyone equally, irrespective of race, sex, ethnic, religion, age, or other protected status. So it does not matter your demographic structure or status. It does not matter your class in the society. Rights are rights. So that equality is there. Then I also said that then there are a set of international and regional treaties, some of which are the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, the International Covenant on Economics. So these are the rights that are universal. They are rights that have been given to us through the United Nations, through World Trade Organization, through UNICEF, so many international organizations that we have brought about this. And in recent times, we also appreciate the fact that there are core human rights treaties that has to do with a special situation, gender equality, which is trying to protect the rights of the woman in the house or in the place of work, equality in the place of work. So gender situation, which is the real thing now, any little situation now, I want to say gender sensitivity. So even now, the average Nigerian is gender sensitive. Everybody wants to give attention or give sense of belonging to the women in our society, in our place of work. Then the right of children, the right to live, so there. Okay, so then we have persons with disabilities and migrant workers. Now, Donald Trump is dealing with migrants in America and saying that everybody should go back to where they come from. But he has forgotten that America was built on the sweat and the blood of migrants. Okay, but as it is today, like we always say, not good lasts forever. Okay, so someday, sometime, somebody will come and say, go to your father's house. So it's just a matter of time. But today, Donald Trump, in spite of the fact that Donald Trump is saying migrants should go back to where they come from, they have rights. There are ways to go about it. And that is what the Supreme Court did some time ago when they put a stop to this immigration stuff. And but I think last week or thereabout, they have given Donald Trump another power to now extradite some illegal migrants out of America. I think the state was given to him last week by the Supreme Court. So everybody have rights. So racial rights, racial discriminations, torture and enforced disappearance. That is why even when you are pursuing a criminal and you shoot that criminal, you could go to jail. So even though you catch a criminal, that criminal is said to be what? Not to be guilty, or it is proven in the court of law. So even that armed robber, even that killer, that murderer still has rights. So we must be conscious of the fact that there's rights in our daily life activities, and that is very imperative. In addition, the 8 fundamental conventions or core labor standards of the International Labor Organization are recognized as protecting human rights. These rights were enshrined in the ILO Charter, okay, which takes care of the core labor standards for every organizations and every country to work on and ensure that they implement in their various situations. And Nigeria is a signatory to the ILO. So freedom for discrimination in the workplace. Many of us are aware of a lot of discriminations in our various environments. But in Nigerian context, shamefully enough, we are still dealing with my tribe, ethnicity, religious and faith in the country, even your place of work. All of us are guilty of that. This person is my brother, that person is from my village, this person is and that's exactly what has actually what is running Nigeria down and many economy down. Discrimination in the workplace. This person is a woman, this person is a man, this person is from the north, this one is from the west, this one is from the east. That crisis is there. I remember when Akinyele was the NAFDAC chairperson. If I'm not mistaken, the only person she sacked in NAFDAC for her to get the desired result she got was her brother-in-law. Her husband's younger brother was the only person she sacked. So you can imagine. So if someone like that can sack our brother-in-law that they will go to the same house or go to the same village and all that, but she has to because she needed that job to be done. How many of us can actually be sensitive to such? And because of this discrimination in the workplace, this lack of freedom of whatever you are, whoever you may be, wherever you may come from, just do your job. We have not grown to the point of separating personality from our official responsibilities. We still bury them together. And that is why we are not achieving desired results. Freedom from child labor. Many of us will see many African countries where children, not even teenagers, children that are carrying arms, carrying guns, going to war. We see them in the north. Look at the northern state of Nigeria, where we have Almajiris. All right? So, and that is why it's called that many of them don't go to school because they are using them for child labor. If you go to Lagos or to go to the southeast or the southwest of Nigeria, you'll see child labors going on. You see those children that are hawking things, children are supposed to be in school. Meanwhile, some of these parents or some of these caretakers, their children are in school. But because somebody is serving you as an housemaid or whatsoever, you put load on top of that person to go to the roads and say, okay. We have heard of so many children that died as a result of child labor. And many countries around the world, like India and some other area, what do you call them now, Lebanese and others, you see child labor in factories, working in factories, less than 12, 13 years old, working in factories. So these are challenges. The freedom of association. In most cases, there are many organizations, especially in the private sector, that does not allow unions in their establishments. Most especially these Lebanese and Indian companies, they won't allow you to constitute a union because of the atrocities they commit. So they wouldn't want collective bargaining or collective demand. So if you know you cannot do what you have to do, you cannot be back, just resign and go. So that is a challenge. Then collective bargaining. Okay, in most public institutions like ASU that we have, most of the things we have gotten were as a result of collective bargaining with the government and every other stakeholder. So by implication, the ILO is saying that there should be, all stakeholders all hands should be on deck from all the stakeholders to be able to agree on the terms and conditions. That is what can actually give the best results.
Okay, excuse me, sir. Question, sir.
Yes, please, go ahead.
Okay, you talked about child labor, citing an example of Lagos State and some other places where the child labor is even going. Even around us, all over in Benue State here, okay. We indeed have an institution that's supposed to fight these child labors, and to an extent, the laws are look like as if the laws are weak and the institutions are weak. What do we do, and how can we go about it to curtail this menace from now going further? How do we stop it from happening?
It's okay. Thank you very much. The laws, Nigeria, if you follow the trajectory of Nigerian political environment, you will understand Nigeria has one of the best
Hello,
laws.
sir?
Yes, are you hearing me? Hello?
Well, with you, sir.
I can hear you now, sir.
Yes, we are
Yes, I can
hearing
hear
you.
you, sir.
Okay, thank you. I said if you follow the trajectory of Nigerian political system, you will discover Nigeria has one of the best laws in the world. Our laws are not weak. We only have weak institutions and corrupt individuals, corrupt officials. That is the challenge we have. Okay, look at NAFDAC said nobody should spray money, right? This Bobrisky went to jail for spraying money. Some poor other person were arrested for spraying money, but when Tompolo sprayed money, when Obi Kubana sprayed money, EFCC could not do anything. So it is about the institution. It's about the individuals who is governing that office. So in terms of child labor, institution that is responsible, be working, I don't think, I repeat, I don't think we'll be having or seeing any children hawking foodstuff or hawking things on by the roadside, running after vehicles for people to buy things during school hours. The parents should go to jail. The caretakers should be arrested. If you do something like that, so the institutions are there, but the institutions are not, because largely because of politics. They will tell you because of politics, then largely because of funding. So there are so many things that weakens our institutions, and then some individuals are equally very corrupt.
Hello, excuse me, sir.
Yes, please.
Sorry, sir, we can't see your screen again.
Go ahead.
We are seeing one Adams in goodness.
Adams in goodness, please push your screen away so that the lecturer we can see the slide of the lecturer. She just shared her own, that's why.
No, why would she do that?
So let her remove it. Or
it's by mistake now. It could be by mistake.
Just use that arrow. You'll be able to select the lecturer.
Yes, well, it's coming up, sir. Yours is coming up now, sir. Thank you, sir.
We can see you, sir. Thank you.
I see you now.
See you now.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So our problem is this institutional problem and then political problems. Everything that we do in Nigeria, we attach politics to it. We attach sentiments to it. It's my, like I said earlier on, it's my brother. It's from my community. He's a redeemer. He's a redeemer. Or is a what do you call it? I don't know what the slogan for dunamis now. It's a dunamis member. So for
it's a winner. It's a winner.
It's a winner. Thank you, sir. And then is the Muslim. It's the Muslim brother. So when you look at all of these are the factors that actually deny us effective and efficient implementation of our sweet and wonderful laws. We have very wonderful laws. Just pick somebody now. You look at all the atrocities that are being committed around us by the Fulani herdsmen and all the likes. Show me one police station where you can see a Fulani man in Nigeria. Show me one. Most especially in the southern and the northwestern Nigeria. So when you look
Sir, you are right. You are right. You are just saying the fact.
So when you look at some of these things, the laws are there, my brother. The institutions are there, but the institutions are weakened.
Very weak indeed.
But yeah, very weak. So that is why you continue to see child labor. Look at it. Yes. Jonathan decided to build an Manjeri school for the northern state to take care of the Hausa Fulani children that are roaming the state. They killed that school. They killed that ambition. In fact, somebody said that's the reason why Jonathan was never supported by the North, because he wanted to educate their children.
Yes.
So when you look at some of these things, that is why until, I repeat, until we have a very strong political power that has the will. Like when Obasanjo was there, the reason why Madam Akinyuli of NAFDAC was able to achieve so much she achieved during that time was because she was not corrupt and the president gave her 100% backup. So the political will was there to deal with fake drugs and unprotected foods in Nigeria. So, and that is why we saw that result. Very powerful. I told you that yesterday, that when the vice president, Atiku then, was pushing for the Aswani brother not to be deported from Nigeria, Obasanjo stood his ground. That is political will. You can imagine the vice president of Nigeria demanding that somebody should not be extradited. So who on earth is going to extradite such a person, if not that the president stood his ground? So those are the challenges we have. Even you, some of us that are here now, if anything happens to you now, you have the commissioner of your state number with you. You have a DPO's number on your phone. Immediately something happens, no matter how wrong that thing is, the first thing you pick a call. You don't bother about the consequences and the implication of that evil that person has done. The only person I respected in this country that have done something that enticed me and I still copy it tomorrow was the vice president of Abacha at that time, Oladipo Dia.
Okay.
His son committed.
Well, so Oladipo Dia was arrested. I hope you know.
No. Before he was arrested, his son committed a crime, and they reported they could not touch him. He was untouchable. So they reported the matter to him, said they should go and arrest him and court-martial him. They arrested him and imprisoned that boy. The boy was locked up for days.
Because himself planned against his predecessor, which was Abacha. So he was arrested.
I know. But before that tug of war, I'm talking about his personal life, his family life. His own son committed a crime, and he ordered his son's arrest, and they locked that boy up.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
So how many of us can do that? How many of us can say, look, I have committed this crime, so let me lose this reward. Don't give it to me. A friend of mine who finished from Ibadan Police some years back is in I think it's in America now. So if communication, this is their communication department that time. So he was the president of that department, Mascom. And then when he finished, they gave him an award. He rejected the award. He said, no, Mr. President, the new president said, no, Mr. President, you have not set up a panel to investigate my tenure. I don't deserve that award. So set up a panel, investigate my tenure. If I have done well or I have not done well. If I have done well, then you can give me an award. And he rejected the award. How many of us can do that? So the issue of child labor is enforceable. It is practical. That is where we find us as far as today is concerned. So we also have the excessive working hours and low wages.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hello, yes, sir. Good morning, Doc. Let me add to what you said. Yes, sir. In this country, I've said this in this class before, the individuals are stronger than institutions. That is why we find ourselves in this mess.
Your line is breaking.
How can an individual who stand up one day and say that this set of people, they should eliminate them because they're attacking their people, they're killing their leaders, the people they're spending money on it, copying the president, referring to a lot of people because they feel they are this, they are that, of which we have a very powerful role. The rules and regulations are guarding this country, and somebody will fold his hands watching. It means they are stronger than the laws of this land, which is not supposed to be so. You have said it all, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, now let me tell you one thing. In the hierarchy of powers, in the hierarchy of you challenge
we can't hear you, sir.
Sorry, network is bad. We can't hear you again. Hello, sir, are you there?
God. Nobody has power, not under the heaven. Hello.
Yes, sir, we are here. We are here, sir.
Okay, sorry, I think the network is seriously bad today. I don't know why.
Oh, very, very, very bad indeed.
The network is misbehaving.
Even sometimes I don't even hear you when you speak.
Okay.
The network deserves a problem.
So we'll continue to manage it.
Okay, sir.
All right. So I was saying that there are 3 levels or 4 levels of powers. God, the God of the power that belongs to God. Then after God, it is the people. After the people, it is the government, by extension, the president of a nation. The people are more powerful than the president and the government. So any day the people decide that enough is enough, that is the day government changes power. But the problem is that the people are divided. The people are never one. Are you listening to me?
Yes, sir.
Very well.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Now, if you observe, look at the killings that took place at Yelwata in Benue State. The only one man that had the boldness to enter into that community and start videoing all those cops was a very dark man. The guy called Very Dark Man.
Very dark man.
That was just one person. So supposing we have 100 dark men in Nigeria, what do you think will have happened? Supposing we have 1,000 person. Just 3 days ago, he went to the same Very Dark Man went to Edo State. In a community somewhere in the community, it goes to close to army barracks, where the army in the vast land that they have in Edo State that they took, the people that settled in that area of community, they started destroying those buildings, and they had given that land to the Fulani people in Edo. And Very Dark Man had gone there to that village, interviewed the Fulani people, interviewed the community people that have been displaced, so that they can give that land to Fulani people. And then he was now beckoning on the chief of army staff, the Edo State governor, and the president to intervene before war broke out in that place. That's another thing he did. So people can speak up. See, the problem is that many of us, we are afraid of dying. There is no way Nigerian people will not die when you are seeking for change. That is the truth. Gani Fahimi fought in the legal ordinary world. Gani Fahimi fought government until he died. How many times? I cannot count the number of times he slept in prison. So the question is that you that desire changes, I that desire changes, are we ready to make the necessary sacrifice? So we cannot just sit in the comfort of our home and think that we can effect a change. No. In your place of work, what are you doing? Freedom of association, freedom of speech, oppression is going on, and you are keeping quiet because you don't want to be sacked or because you don't want to be blacklisted. I was telling a colleague of mine yesterday that there was a time that virtually everyone in my college were fighting me because of what I stood for. And I knew what I suffered till today. But the truth is that lone voice, one of my HOD told me one day, said, Olotu, that are you aware that in the departmental board, he said, are you aware that the minorities will have their say, the majority will have their way? I said, yes, let that minority voice be on the record, that at so and so time when such a decision was taken, that minority voice said so. Even though it did not have its weight, but let it be on record that it is not all of us that sleep in one and put our head in one direction. So I stood out, and that lone voice, in future, it might stand. So we must continue to speak out. That is why we are training you to ensure that these rights are defended. Even if it means us losing our job, if it means our promotion being delayed and denied, it's just a matter of time. After all, the Bible, for those of us that are Christians, say that it is only the blessings of God that make it rich and added no sorrow. So not the blessings of man. So if you have that understanding, so why won't you stand out and fight for the right of others? There was a chop clip again. Sorry, I like giving examples to buttress my facts. There was another video I watched from America also, of a professor who entered into the classroom. I think a classroom about 20 students, a master's class. He now told one of the students, to stand up, a female student. So the female student stood up. I said, walk out of my class. You are not going to attend my lecture. I don't want to see you in my class any from today. I don't like your face. I don't like you for who you are. I don't even like your dressing. So leave my class now. She was shocked. Everybody was shocked. So my friend, he banged it. He said, leave my class. And the lady left, crying. So the man relaxed. He wrote some, he now took his time and wrote something on the board. Within that 5 minutes, there was no single person in the class that could raise up his hand and say anything. So and the woman turned to them and said, what I just did now, was it good? They said, no. Why didn't you raise up your hand and speak? Why didn't you ask me why? Why didn't you challenge what I did now? You see, that is the way the world is. Because everybody is afraid of their present position. Nobody so that they will not lose that position. Another person stands up and says, no, this is an injustice. The lady, so I just want you guys to learn the lesson. This stands in my head till tomorrow. 1, 2, 3, 4 persons can change the situation. So don't let us waste so much time. I think I've said so much that. So let us work together and ensure that we fight injustice and rights in our place of work. So excessive working hours and low wages, that is one of it. The human trafficking, which is already, human trafficking is not only about diaspora trafficking. Human trafficking also goes on. There are people that are moved from the village and brought to cities as child laborers. Okay, and some of them are used as sex labor and all that. Then unsafe working environment. How safe is your working environment is very, very important.
Conditions.
Yeah. So if you have the understanding now, I believe by now you understood what is human rights, and then the many types of human rights. So let us see how we can bring these rights into the procurement. Now,
question.
Say, yes, please.
Sir, my name is Emmanuel Tete.
All right, sir.
I really have some questions for you.
Okay, sir.
But from based on your explanation, I just got to know who you are. I was actually wondering who is. Based on the society we are now, I've never seen somebody comes out and is open the way you are. I wanted to actually ask, is this man actually a lecturer? But based on the kind of things I hear you say, you are a man of God, and I said, I should have known, because actually what is happening in this society is so appalling. We're living in a society where everything goes. So sometimes I cry to God, if possible, why are you still keeping me in this kind of a world? There was a day I carried a friend on a bike, and the man told me that he regrets why getting married, that why he has even married. And I asked him why. He said that he can't imagine that he's bringing his children in this kind of world where everything goes. There's nothing that it's wrong in the sight of people. So when you started talking, I was wondering, you don't know me, I don't know you. This is an online lecture. But I started wondering, who is this man? How I wish I can. I was even wondering if is this man a lecturer, or is he vying for a political appointment? Because if somebody is vying for a political appointment, this is how the person sounds. But from all indication, is beyond what I think. I don't think you are vying for a position. You are only saying this thing because you want people to learn. Because people have actually lost their sense of, there's high level of moral decay in the society, where people do things the way they want to do without any questioning. So when you were saying these things, I wish to meet you on one-on-one, face-to-face. I want to know who is talking this thing. So if you wouldn't mind, if possible, I will chat you. I need to know you face-to-face. Put aside who I am as a student. But I want to really know who is talking this thing. Because you are speaking my mind.
You are going to be, all of you are going to be in school very soon for revisions and exams.
Yeah,
Hello,
sure.
sir. Hello, sir. Hello,
yes.
sir. Mr. Emmanuel, if you meet Dr. Olutu, you will appreciate and like him, because it is a man I had an encounter with him when I was doing my MSc in management. That is him. What he's telling you, that is him. And there are a lot of injustices that he has faced in that college. But today, you see him talking there. He's not talking because he's trying to raise
I was
make people to appreciate what he's saying.
Yes, while he was talking, so, I didn't believe that he was a lecturer. I didn't believe it at all.
If you meet Dr. Oluto, you will like him. Just find time and meet him one-on-one. I think that is who he is.
That's great. I think I will chat him up privately so that
we'll have
thank
you very much, gentlemen.
All right, thank you so much.
We are certainly going to have a short time together during your revision week and then during your exam. So we still have a lot of time to few days to interact and relate, so that I'll be able to know who my students are, and then you'll be able to know who is that Olotu.
Sure.
Okay, no
so,
problem.
I really enjoyed you this morning. You've given me a great day. You've made my day wonderful from your lecture, from what I've heard you say. You've made me a wonderful day. Thank you so much, sir.
All right, I appreciate it. All right, thank you. So let's progress. So now, like I said, let us see how we can now bring this human rights that we have learned so much about into procurement. Now, like I said here, the goal of procurement is to carry out activities in such a way that the goods and services procured are of the right quality, from the right source, at the right cost, and can be delivered in the right quantities to the right place at the right time, and in all providing right services. You see, there are 7 R here that we look at when you talk about human. The other time we were talking about 5 R when we were talking about product. But now when we are looking at human rights, we look at 7 rights. Now, what are these rights? Like I said, the right quality. Like I expressed yesterday, what is the quality of the products or services you want to render? Okay, it is very important. Today, many of us are talking about plastic rice that these Oyinbo people are giving to us to drink. To eat, sorry. So what is the quality of that product? Then the right source. The source of a product can also determine the quality of the product. Like somebody said earlier on, there were times that we said China, India, Pakistan. These are areas that are seen as fake, largely associated with products. So what is the source of your product? Is it the right source? There are products that are associated or connected to certain area or certain locations. Like today, now, if you are talking of quality yam that is good for pounded yam, you have to talk about Benue State before you can talk about Ekiti State. All right? So you want to talk about any product, you have to look at the source. So where are you getting your source? What is your source of supply? Then the right cost. Many of us would like to inflate costs, like to inflate prices. Is it right? The cost of the price is supposed to be 50,000 naira. But because you discover that 100,000 or 90,000 naira, so these are some of the challenges that we have. So the right cost, and then the right quantity. There was a time, there was a video that was that flaunted the market some months back, right? If I'm not mistaken, of this boy that I don't want to attribute to a particular tribe. This boy that sells rice. There's this small handheld instrument that they use. They will punch it into the bag of rice, so the rice will be dripping out. So they will remove a whole paint rubber, this small paint rubber. They will remove it from that bag, one bag of 50 kg. And then they will sell the remaining one to people. So you can now imagine, when you now start removing a paint rubber from each 50 kg, you can imagine how many kgs you are going to get at the end of the day. And you will still sell it at the same price. Right quantity. So it is very important that we take it then to the right place. Where is it going to be supplied? Where is the location of the end user or the buying entity? Where is their location? So where is he holding? Then at the right time, one thing about customer is getting their goods at the right time and at the right place. Customer don't joke with their time. That is why I told a procurement class some times ago, I said, look, it was an entrepreneurship class. I said, I am sorry, but the truth is that 90% of artisans, they are liars. Either you are a tailor, you are a plumber, you are a mechanic, you are an electrician, you are all this. The majority of us, we are liars. they are not trustworthy. I know of a friend that was to get married on a Saturday, gave his suit to somebody for a month. The man did not show it. Then by Friday, day to the wedding, the guy locked his shop and never came to shop again. On Saturday morning, the guy had to rush to one Igbo. His friend had to go run to one Igbo market to go and buy a suit so that he can go for a wedding. All right. So right time. So you discover that, and you can imagine these are small scale SMEs. You cannot imagine what happened at corporate bodies. So, and that is everything that, and then providing the right services. So what is the essence of that service? Is it meeting the goals of the organization? Is it the right thing to be done and all that? So these are some of the things. Then under that particular, maybe by the time you get this material, you will see I copied a link. So you can copy this link and watch the video about human rights and procurement. It's just about 10 minutes or thereabout. So you can copy that link later and then you can watch that video. It will also give you, it will add value to what I am saying now in the class. Then human rights in the workplace. We have the legal framework and labor laws, which I have talked about. Dignity and respect. You know, some people go tell you, say, now respect you want you. Who cares about dignity? You know, like I told my students that I'm supervising. Anytime students are assigned to me to supervise, I tell my students when they come to my office and because of briefing them, I say, sorry, between now that you have been assigned to me and the time you will defend your project, please don't buy a recharge card for me. Don't come and give me wine. Don't come and give me anything. Jesus. When I finish supervising you and you have defended, whatever it comes to your mind to come and appreciate me with, I will collect. If you like, buy me motor, I will collect. But between this period, please don't come and give me even ordinary recharge card. Why? Because of my dignity and my respect. I don't want a student to say, with all the money I'm giving to you, this man is still canceling my work. No. So anyway, if I cancel your work because you didn't do the right thing, let it be on a neutral basis that there's no influence. Yes. In the place of work, many of us will lack that dignity and self-respect. Our self-worth is valueless, is useless. Because every person that steps their foot into your office, you must collect bribe, you must collect something. For you, I know some HOD that before they could sign that attestation for students, even students that want to apply for scholarship, to apply for bursary, for HOD to sign, they will collect money from students. That is shameful. So there are many of us that do these things that we lack this dignity and respect in our place of work. We are not valued. Do you know that students gather and they discuss lecturers the same way that colleagues gather and discuss you in your place of work? That man, I want bottle of beer now. Go and meet I want bottle of beer, no problem. That man, now just one plate of jollof rice. Now you find down and recharge now. Just like waiting one making do. So you can imagine your value, your worth, your self-worth. So it is imperative that dignity and respect is a right. And that is why when some people want to step on your toes, that like the other man was saying, stand up. Let's see, there's nothing you do that your colleagues don't know that you are doing. There is nothing that you do that your colleagues do not know that they know who you are. They are your next door neighbor. In your office, the closest person to you are the people you are working together. They know you, they see you, they feel you. So it is imperative that if you want to be whatever you are, your colleague know you, and the management know. That is why sometimes when the assignment I was supposed to give to you by reasons of your office, they won't give it to you, you'll go and give to another person because of who you are. And then you'll be getting angry and be swelling up like bread that was thrown to waters. But you never know that it's because of the respect that they don't value you because of what you do in the office. Then health and safety. It's the right of the organization to provide safety environment. And the job you are doing, the assignment you are performing, the procurement activities by the end user must not be injurious to the health of that person. You are selling me a drug, or you are selling me a body wear, safety net, whatever. that thing that you are selling to me that I want to personally consume or use should not be injurious to me. The laptop you are giving to me should not be the one that will harm me in the course of doing my job. The seat you gave me to sit on to do my job should not be injurious. There shouldn't be a nail that is springing out from that that will choke my bum when I sit on it. So there should be, it's my right for me to be given a sound safety environment that will enhance my health system. Then you have freedom of association and collective bargaining. We are going to discuss this one much more later. So there should be room for freedom of association and collective bargaining with all the stakeholders. Do not leave everybody that has something, one thing or the other to do with your procurement, with your office. Do not leave anybody out because you have a beef with somebody, you are quarreling with somebody, or you are keeping money with somebody, and that thing has to do with office. You just sideline that person. No, that is wrong. Separate your personality from your job. One of my professors told me one day, he said, Lotu, he said, do you know that as a lecturer, as a professor, if I have personal issue score to settle with a student, and the matter has to take us to police station and subsequently to the court, I will follow up the student to court. But if that student have an A in his course, I'll give him a C because there's no relationship between the two. That is one thing that has guided my principles of life today. That's why there's no single student that has ever passed through me that will say I've ever victimized him or her. It's not possible. No student ever comes to my table and cry home, except students that are corrupt and fraudulent. And I stand my ground. And such students can go home and cry. That will not concern me. But say because of my own selfish interest or no, I won't do that. So there should be that freedom of association and collective bargaining. Everybody should be involved, irrespective of the difference between you and that person. Now job, now work, it's official. Involve the person. Don't carry your personal life come and affect the job of the organization. That is wrong. So it's a right. You should not deny that person the right because you are quarreling. Child labor and forced labor, we have discussed that. Privacy and surveillance. Do not pry into the privacy of your colleagues. It's none of your business. Personal life is none of your business. Then there are some of us that want to sell the secret of your organization you are working for a peanut. That is not correct. I think there was a bank. There was a song that came out recently of a bank. I don't know whether in Lagos, of an employee in a bank that went and planted camera in the female toilet so that whenever the ladies pull down their panties, they want to use themselves, you'll be seeing their private parts. Eventually, I think it was caught and handed over to the police. Do you know how many women he has seen there? And what joy do you derive in that? Okay, so there are so many things. Many of us will want to go and pick your partner's file, your colleague's file, and start studying that person so that I can use it against him tomorrow. No, that is his right. Okay, so it is not correct. I remember when one of my senior colleagues took my file home for 2 weeks. He studied for 2 weeks, he couldn't say anything to blackmail me, return it. You don't get choice. So there are things like that. So can anything like that be said of you? So why are you priving or prognosing into another person's affairs, into your guy's affairs, into another department's affairs that does not concern you? You are being paid to do a job. Focus on your job, do it and do it well, in partnership, in collaboration, as a team, and get your result. Equal pay and gender equality is also another right in the workplace. Pay are being determined by your qualifications and the office you are occupying. So the fact that you are bringing a woman there is not the reason why you should reduce the entitlement that is accrued to that office. That will not be correct. And then, of course, whistleblower protection. Nigeria came up with this whistleblower protection law, but we have not been implementing it. We know how many whistleblowers that have been that was later arrested, or that people later went and attacked. Who leaked the information? Was it not the same, maybe the same government officials or police or security system that the whistleblower reported to? And that's why today, like the last speaker was talking about protection. So well, whistleblowers to be protected. And that is exactly what is happening in most of our organizations today. All the rots that is going on are being carried out by people, but these people cannot be reported. Because when you go to report, they will say, go and put into writing. And then you become enemies of everybody. If you dare put into writing, they might even send assassins to come and kill you. But these are the risks, the danger that is associated with whistleblowing. So a lot of wrongs are going on. So these are the very rights in the workplace peculiar to procurement as well. Now, if you look at this diagram, yes, you'll discover that these are human rights and public procurement. Now, this is the state, which is the state that is talking about the government or the public procurement of officials, as the case may be. By the left-hand side, you have the supplier and the sub-suppliers that have to add value, okay? And this has to be, the yellow arrow is talking about due diligence. Due diligence, that is human right due diligence, the right thing that needed to be done between the suppliers and then the end users. Okay, so there is also what you call the business and the rights holders. So those rights holders, the workers, the community, the end users, all of them has rights. The people that the suppliers and the sub-supplier, they have rights. The end users equally have rights. All the stakeholders have rights. And of course, between the business and the organization or the community, there's corporate responsibilities that you also have to look. It is the right of the community where you're operating business that for you to also be involved in corporate social responsibilities. Now, these are key external procurement risks. Key external procurement risks that are associated with procurement in the external environment. You remember that we have both internal and internal environment, right? So if you remember that, then you appreciate what I'm talking about. Now, supply chain disruption, natural and man-made disaster, geopolitical conflicts and pandemics. So supply chains can be disrupted. So when these are part of the risks that are associated with procurement. And then, of course, it goes with a right. You have the market volatility, which are fluctuations in market demand, inflation, currency. These are economic and political factors. Trade and tariff risks. Okay, imposition of tariff, trade restrictions, just like Donald Trump is currently doing in America. Okay, now compliance and regulatory risks. Changes in or non-compliance with domestic and foreign regulations, sustainability risks, right? Supply ethics, labor, practice environmental sustainability, supplier side data security risks. Now, if you check all these risks, what we are saying in essence is that rights also have its own risks. Rights also have its own risks. So this risk can be looked at from this point of these 6 items that we listed here: supply chain disruptions, market volatility, trade and tariff risk, because it is the right of the supplier to supply at the right time. But the risk of time. Remember when Tinubu said fuel subsidy is gone. I immediately said fuel subsidy is gone. The environment turned 360 degrees around, and it affected virtually everything on the face of Nigerian markets. So risk was very high. And those that survived that period of time were people that actually insured their investment or insured their businesses. The insurance has to, in fact, many companies closed down. So rights is also associated with certain risks. Yeah, it is my right to use laptop, for instance, to do your job. But there are risks between you and that laptop, your eyes. What happened to your eyes? What happened to your health? Sitting for too long on a laptop, what does it do to your health system? So these are risks that is associated to certain rights. So this topic is to enable you know that for every right, there are risks associated to them. And you have to be wary of this risk. You have to be aware of it, whether it's a high risk or low risk. If it is high risk, then what is the stake? What is the reward? Okay? If you are going to, the risk is very high. So what am I going to benefit if I decide to go headlong? For instance, now it is the right time for delivery. and I am bringing the goods all the way from Enugu down to Makodi. Look at the Nigerian road. It's a risk that I have to take. And something happened along the line, who bears the risk? So these are some of the risks that are associated to rights when you look at human rights in procurement. Now, risks to human rights of end user and service user, exactly. Goods and services provided to individuals should not harm their human rights, just what I just said. You are supplying me computer, or you are supplying me drug to use, or you are supplying me chemical to use because of doing my job in the office. Will it harm me? Will it be dangerous to my health? What are the safety equipment, bodily equipment? And if anything happens, what is going to be the reward for me or for my family? Like recently, I think about 2-3 years ago, laboratory, what do you call them now? Is it NAT in the university system? Technologists. They started they agitated for, and they are now start being paid hazard allowance. Yeah, it is their right. It's the government right to supply you chemical with which you have to work in the laboratories. It's also the right, your right to get safety equipment. It's your right for you to get the right chemical to work. But what about the risk? Hazard that is associated to that right. So you need to be very careful about that. Personalized health or social care services for persons with disability or special needs. So special attentions has to be given to people living with special disabilities. You went and bought a walking stick or your, what do you call it, wheelchair, as the case may be. And that wheelchair now got stuck somewhere, and then you fall and you hit your head on the ground. You know, that's part of the risk. So you have to look at. So goods are supplied direct to end users like drug and mobility devices, including wheelchair. Okay, I just talked about that. The state can contract out the supply of goods and services, but it cannot contract out its human rights obligations. What we are trying to say here is that the government can actually contract out goods and services, but your rights cannot be contracted out. The obligation of government to ensure that your rights are kept, your rights are preserved, cannot be contracted out. So it's an obligation that must be carried out. Okay, so the public buyer should therefore take steps to manage the risks of harm to individual through human rights due diligence. So it beholds on the organization, the contracting organization, to ensure that whatever they are doing, whatever they are procuring, they must ensure that they take cognizance of your rights and due diligence is ensured. Human rights due diligence. According to United Nations guiding principles on business and human rights, companies are expected to conduct human rights due diligence to manage very important human rights risks in their place of work. So it's not a choice. It's not a choice. It's a right as stipulated by United Nations. And Nigeria is a signatory to United Nations. Most countries are signatory to United Nations treaties. And one of these is one of those that must be executed, so that when you are engaging the employees, you are engaging in procurement activities, you must also put in place human rights due diligence, things to mitigate these rights if they are violated by one way or the other. Now, still talking about due diligence mitigations. If you look at this, these are the processes embed responsible business conduct into policies. So how do you deal with this right? They are embedded in the procurement processes, are embedded in the workplace environment. So when you are craving for your policies, when you are setting up your policies, you must embed responsible business conduct into your policies. How the job is going to be done and with what the job is going to be done must be embedded in your policy. Then you must be able to define the scope to conduct human rights due diligence, because as you are saying, okay, thou shalt, you also be able to put, in case thou shalt not, what will happen? How do we mitigate it? So that must also be there. Then you must identify actual and potential rights, the risks associated with those potential rights. You must also identify them. Then when you have done that, that's where the due diligence comes in. Then assess impacts and livelihood of human rights risks. So you identify the risk that is associated to the rights, and then you also come up with the likely impact that it might have on the members of that organization. And then human rights violations. So you see the process, okay, in your policy, and then in case there are risks, what type of risks? Okay, what is the, in case the risk happen, in case the risk happen, how do we mitigate it? Then you now make sure that you monitor all the human rights, and then eventually you report and communicate to the appropriate quarters for actions to take place. So you can look at the four steps: embed responsible business conduct into policies, put in place due diligence, and then track and monitor, all right, human rights issues or abuses, and then report and communicate to the appropriate quarters for actions to be taken. Now, how do you mitigate human rights risks? Number one, investment in governance structure. Investment in governance structure. That is very important. There should be possibly a desk, an office in that organization that takes care of human rights risks and due diligence. Very, very important. Collaborative stakeholder engagement. You see, one of the challenges that we have in our offices is that we don't engage stakeholders. We don't. We just sit down in our office and come up with documents. You don't engage stakeholders. So it is imperative that for you to be able to mitigate human rights risks, you must engage stakeholders. Invite everybody to a stakeholders meeting. Let everybody put in their own opinion. And so that it will help the organization the better. Then number three, inclusion and enforcement of standards. What are the standards? Are you using United Nations standards? Are you using Nigerian standard? Are you using NAFDAC standard or NDLEA standard? Which standard are you using? So you must bring those standards, and then how your company is going to enforce these standards. It is very, include them in your policy situations. Then implement grievances mechanism. When there are grievances in the office, how do you resolve it? What is the procedure? And this must be made known to all the employees of the organization, including your stakeholders and your suppliers, as the case may be. So monitor and report compliances. To what extent have you complied with all of this? Capacity building and incentive. Train those who are going to execute these assignments. Train those regulatory agencies. Train those who are going to do the monitoring and the compliance, ensure that the compliance is carried out. So capacity building is very important. You should try as much as possible to also incentivize the situation. Then create a suppliers portal and a grievances mechanism. Let your suppliers or stakeholders have access to your website so that they can go there and read information about your human rights issues or the job you do and how you do your job. That is one of it. Just like now, like I said the other time, like now, if UniAgric now as it were, is to procure certain equipments, I can be in Ghana, or I can be in Benue, sorry, I can be in Borno and access the website of UniAgric to be able to read about what human rights they have and the risk associated with human rights in the course of procurement. If this thing happen, like now, if I'm making supply from Borno to Makurdi, and along the line, because of the bad road, there was a delay that I couldn't meet up because of insecurity. How do you mitigate that challenge? How do you deal with that risk? Because there's a right time delivery. So I can't meet it up because of insecurity, because of even possibly one or two villages along the road was raised down. Like that time when water was attacked in Benue State here. All the vehicles had to stop like for 2-3 days. In fact, there was a truck I was told that Okada followed them up until they set it ablaze at Api, close to that mega station, that NNPC station. That they have set it ablaze. So as a result of that attack on that kind of a thing, what happened? Every other person will pack. So your website should be able to have information about situation like this if it's going to happen. And then change management and then methodology. So there should be technology. Now everybody is using technology now. So it's not every time that I must have to come to your office, travel all the way to come for me to get information about your organization. No, I should be able to sit in the comfort of my house, access your website because of the level of technology, the internet that we are using today. So I should be able to have access and then deal with certain, ask questions and then get response to my questions. How do you deal with your grievances? What grievance mechanism do you put in place and all that? So these are some of the things that you have to do to be able to mitigate human rights risks. So gentlemen, this is all I have for you as regards human rights in the workplace environment, human rights in procurement processes, and then the risks associated with these rights and how to mitigate them. Now, I don't know, let me finish this lecture before I can take questions, so I will take them together. Do we agree?
It's okay, yes, like that.
All right, thank you very much. All right, so stakeholders, engagement, and collaborations. So at the end of this lecture, you should be able to identify procurement stakeholders, then how these stakeholders get involved in procurement processes, and then the benefits of stakeholders, engagement, and collaboration in procurement. Now, who are stakeholders? We all know that stakeholders are every person or group of persons that are involved one way or the other in the carrying out of a particular assignment or business. They are stakeholders. So in your office, in your organization, you know, they vary from organization to organization. They vary from country to country. In some area, they make them in the one office. In some, they separate them. So you know who your stakeholders are, depending on your type of organizations and the type of procurement you want to carry out. So now you have the suppliers, you have the investors, you have the customers, you have the internal stakeholders, then you have government, regulatory agencies, then you have the NGO. So these are the various stakeholders that have, these are people that should be involved, like I said. Okay, so like now, suppliers, these are fair contracting, investors, risk managing, investors, customer, product quality, that are the end users, NGO, or the suppliers, sorry, NGO, social responsibility, internal stakeholders, cost saving. External stakeholders are the employees and some other persons within the organization. Then government regulatory agencies. Okay, so these are all the stakeholders that the procurement, that works with procurement to be achieved, depending on the type of organizations and the type of procurement to be carried out. Now, here we look at procurement stakeholders engagement. Procurement stakeholder engagement refers to building and managing relationship with individuals, groups, or departments who have an interest or stake in the procurement activities of your organization. I said, to keep things simple, it's about connecting and collaborating with people inside and outside your organization who play an important role in your buying process. You see? So the stages of purchase, the type of product you are buying will determine the stakeholder that will get involved. For instance, now, if you want to go and buy yam from Benue State, for instance, from Makurdi, Benue State, maybe you want 100 tubers of yam, the stakeholders are not going to be the same when you are dealing with inflammable products like gas or petroleum. They cannot be the same. One will be more, that of inflammable, which carries higher risk, will be more, the stakeholder will be more than just ordinary yam, or you want to go and buy salt in the market, who cares? Okay, so the stakeholder will be very minute. So it is very imperative that anyone that is connected with your kind of purchase, the product you purchase and the kind of purchase is a stakeholder, okay? And we are saying that there's a need for you to engage them. Now here, the three major stages of procurement and then the stakeholders that are involved, okay, and what is expected of them. For instance, at the pre-market engagement of stakeholders, they have to identify and outline requirements. When you are identifying needs requirement, that needs assessment, who are you going to invite for you to be able to determine what you actually need? They are stakeholders. Sometimes you may have to engage more than 2-3 departments for you to be able to come up with your need assessment, okay, that you submit. So involve partners, staff, and suppliers, sorry. Refine business cases of and budget, select procurement routes. So you now discover that at the pre-market engagement, so many persons within the organization are involved. Several departments are involved before it is eventually approved by the management team. That's why you say pre-engagement. Then procurement proper. Invite submission from the market, apply tendering processes, receive and evaluate bids, and then award contracts. That's the procurement level. Now, at this point also, now you are now bringing outsiders. Sometimes at the pre-market engagement stage, it's also important, it is possible also for you to engage outsiders because you need experts advice, professionals advice before you advertise your bids. So it's also important. So it's not only just at the procurement area that you look for outside. Some of us that are consultants, sometimes we get invited by organization based on what they want to do within before they started doing it. So and then finally delivery. So here you work with selected suppliers, okay, because you have to interview the suppliers and then be able to select the best supplier that you want to work with. How to manage contract and change requests, okay, monitor performances and drive referral requirements. Then there's also feedback mechanism, because after they must have delivered and you have used that product, there should be a feedback as well. So these are the processes. So these are the processes that is required. When you look at these 3 major processes, then you can from here select who are the stakeholders that need to be engaged. Maybe we are in the classroom now, and because of time too, there are questions I will ask us to identify companies and then a product, and then let us, based on these 3 line of stages, let's identify the stakeholders that are involved. But I think it's self-explanatory at this point. Pre-market engagement within the organization, who are the stakeholders, based on the type of product you want to deal with. They are the procurement stage, and finally the delivery stage. So it is important. So the key importance of stakeholders engagement. Number 1, it aligns your organizational goals. So when you bring all the stakeholders on board, it helps to align your organizational goals so that there won't be confusion. All right? Maybe the goals of the organization, the objective of the finance department, the objective of the procurement department, the objective of the user department. All right? So it should not differ from the general goal of the organization. So everybody should be able to work toward the direction of the goals. Okay? And by so doing, when you bring everybody on board, the goal will align. And then there will be no challenges or query tomorrow, as the case may be. So everybody must be involved. Then inform decision making. So when all the stakeholders are brought together, it makes decision making easy. Because while everybody is seated, a decision is taken. So nobody will claim ignorance or not being included in the decision making process of that procurement. So because everybody sat down and then informed decision is taken. Then mitigate risk. When stakeholders sit together, people will be able to see beyond their nose. People will be able to identify risks that are associated with that procurement, and then they'll be able to come up with methods or ways through which they can actually mitigate this risk. And then there'll be transparency and accountability. Okay, you went to your office and said there's openness. There's openness. Then there's efficiency and streamlined processes. Now, don't forget that efficiency has to do with process and effectiveness has to do with the result, the output. So when there's stakeholder engagement, there's efficiency and there's effectiveness. Then it helps to save costs. It helps to save costs. And then there's an enhanced communication. You know, one of the reasons why you have to bring everybody together is to ensure there is communication. I am aware, you are aware, everybody is aware, and we contributed. Nobody will go behind and stab at that. So it helps to enhance communication. Please, let that person be muted, please. Now, this is the approach employed to understand stakeholders' requirements. Now, in the procurement process, 76% procurement team members embedded in cross-functional teams. What do you mean by cross-functional teams? Various departments. Okay, the user department, procurement department, accounting department, the management team. You know, everyone is involved. So 76% members embedded in cross-functional teams. So there are, sometimes you pick people. I remember when the president wanted to float a particular, we say what we call interministerial team. Interministerial team. So people are brought from different ministries that have relationship with that particular project, and they form a committee, and the job is done. So 76% of the job is like that. There's 62% procurement target jointly owned with internal stakeholders. So the procurement targets are jointly owned with internal stakeholders. Then 45% has to do with procurement physically co-located within business functions. So it is called that when procurement activities will be done is physically co-located within business functions. Then about customer satisfaction survey, 45%, and then procurement performance measured against a balanced scorecard aligned to functional strategy. The implication of this is that you have your balanced scorecard, you have your index that you have, performance index that you have set out. So when you are looking at your procurement, you measure it against your performance index, whether you actually meet your objective that you have set. So it's about 44%, while others is put at 10%. Now, these approaches help us to increase, in order to increase stakeholders engagement, these are the approaches you can take. Number one, add value to the conversation. Add value to the conversation. Understand personalities. You know, I've said so much about personalities earlier on. Sometimes the problem we have in our organization is that we pay so much attention to individual personalities beyond the assignment that is given. Yes, personality can have influence, but that should not be the reason why the job should not be done. Okay, so let us understand the personalities. Then you should be empathic. We should be empathic about the job we do. Put yourself in the shoe of others. Feel the feelings of others. Supposing you are the owner of the organization, all right? So it's always good for us to reason and reason alike. So another approach to align procurement go with your stakeholders department. Then provide clear communication channel that everybody can have easy access to. So it's not going to be a coded one. Let it be, it should not be locked. So let it be open. Clear communication channel that everybody can access it anywhere they are or where they could be around the world. And then finally, continuous education and training, which is what we talked about empowerment the other time. It's very important to empower the people. So in stakeholders engagement, you consider this. Here, the people should hear, see, and the people should be able to say and do. Like I said earlier on that, yes, the minority might have their say, but let them also be given that opportunity to have that say. So when to give room for people to hear, for people to see. Nothing is hidden.
Can't hear you again, sir.
So we cannot hear you again.
Can feel, and then in the pain and the gain that that's thank God I'm not part of it. Thank you know such mentality. This people now because of this they didn't involve me. Hello.
We can't hear you again, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Since you opened the slide, we couldn't hear you.
Are you seeing my slide?
Yes, we are seeing this particular slide, but since you opened it, we couldn't hear the explanations.
But are you hearing me now?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Okay, sorry, I think the network that is frustrating. Sorry, let me just repeat myself here.
I'm hearing you,
I said
sir.
in the procurement processes of every organization, okay, we talk about stakeholders engagement and collaborations. And I am saying that all the stakeholders that is connected to a particular procurement process, they should be able to hear about the procurement. They should be able to see the procurement. They should be able to think about the procurement and feel the procurement. They should be able to say and do something about the procurement. Okay? So all of the stakeholders should get involved in the procurement process so that at the end of are you hearing me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So at the end of the day, the pain and the gain that may come from procurement process will be shared by all. Please, can we mute that person? Who is this person? Patrick Utuo, can you mute yourself, please?
Okay, sir.
Thank you. So, you know, if some of the stakeholders are not involved, and at the end of the procurement exercise, it is about pain, not of gain. No people say, I go catch them. They refuse to involve me. They didn't engage me. They didn't let me know. They went ahead and did the procurement. Now go catch them. Okay? So if it is gain, all of them, some people that are not involved may get angry. I say you can imagine. Now, because of what they want to eat, they didn't involve me, and my department is very important. So everybody should hear about it, see it, feel it, think about it, and say and do something about it, so that all of us can share in the pain as well as the gain at the end of the day. Now, if you look at this diagram, you will see shareholders, stakeholders interactions, and frequency of interactions. Now, stakeholders are to be interacted with. And in interacting with these stakeholders, what is the frequency of the interactions? Now, there are key players, key stakeholders. The key stakeholders must be frequently interacted with. They must have regular updates. They must have specific details and direct communications. So it is very important. We call them the key players, the key stakeholders. These are the people that matters. So they must have full details about the procurement exercise, and it must be frequent. In fact, they have the highest level of frequency. Then the key satisfiers. These are regular interactions, periodic updates, direct communication. Then you have the keep informed. The keep informed they should have periodic interactions, bi-monthly updates, generic communication, general communication, posting on the notice board and all that. Then you have the minimal efforts. those that pay, that contribute little to what is going on about the procurement, maybe the gateman or the admin officer, sorry, the office assistants and all of those ones, okay? Their own interaction is minimal efforts. They are putting minimal effort, so you don't need to give them regular updates. So it's infrequent interactions and quarterly updates. So you can group the stakeholders, like under examination condition, for instance, I can tell you to identify a particular product of a particular Sorry, are you hearing me now?
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Yes, sir. We're hearing you.
Yes, sir.
So I was saying that maybe under examination condition, like I asked you to identify a particular product, list the stakeholders that are involved, and then discuss the frequency of interactions and the stakeholders' influence. So you are going to express it like this in terms of key players, the key satisfiers, keep informed, and then minimal efforts. So it is not everybody that is connected to a business or procurement business that should get the full details. There are people that are key, that are major. They are the ones who are supposed to have the regular updates, possibly daily updates, okay? Because at some level of the procurement, there are signs that are secretive. So those secretive things, you don't need to expose it to the gateman on the road, or at the gate, sorry, or the admin officer who is not supposed to know about it. So it is imperative that you identify these stakeholders and then discuss the extent of communications that they have or they should have and when they should have it. Now here we talk about engagement and collaborations. Here we have building trust and relationship. Building trust and relationship, because trust, you have to build trust. It's very important in stakeholders' engagement. You cannot collaborate with somebody you don't trust. You cannot collaborate with somebody you don't have personal relationship with. That is why in the workplace environment, I hate it when we start keeping malice among ourselves. It is because we personalize hatred, malice in our workplace environment that jobs are not being done the way it should be done. So it's painful when we cannot trust ourselves. So it will affect our level of collaborations. Identify needs and priorities. After you have developed trust and relationship, the next thing is to identify the needs and the area of priority. Then you could create and design exactly what you need. Then when you have done with need assessment and all of those, then you now look at the budgeting, now the resource mobilization. Okay, how much do we need and how do we mobilize resource to enable us get what we want? And then knowledge sharing and capacity building. Knowledge sharing here now, the stakeholders will now have to get to know what you need to do, some stakeholders. And then capacity building, you need to train people on it. And that is where possibly you have to train the end users so that when the supply came, then they'll be able to use it. Sometimes you may have to send people abroad to go and learn how to use the product and all that. And finally, monitoring and evaluations. Here I say, what is collaborative procurement? Collaborative procurement is a strategy where buying partnerships collaborate with suppliers to improve the quality of goods and services with reducing cost. Importance: encourage closer relationship between buyer and supplier, work together to leverage each other's strengths for mutual benefits, play a crucial role in ensuring the effectiveness of the procurement cycle, strengthen relationship, enhance stakeholders' engagement, and improve overall effectiveness. So it is very important that when you are collaborating, when there's a collaboration between the buyer and the supplier, it is important that you ensure very close relationship. Sometimes this relationship can be personal. Just like the banking sector, they try to build personal relationship with their customers. So maybe they are valued customers to the extent of sending gifts and attending ceremonial activities and all that. So it is very important for us to do that. It also enables us to ensure cost saving through combined purchasing power. So when you invite the stakeholders, with the supplier for interaction, you collaborate with the suppliers. It will enable us to reduce the, in fact, they will be the best position to advise you. Okay, this one will serve your purpose, or this one will not serve your purpose and all that. So it is imperative that we look at some of these things, and this is one of the advantages in terms of cost savings. Then ability to negotiate better terms. So when you engage the suppliers, you'll be in the best way to negotiate for better terms. And then because of relations that have been built over the years, then you can reduce cost and have a better offer. And then, of course, finally, facilitate knowledge sharing. You'll be able to share knowledge, new innovations, new products in the market can be brought to the table that can help you to discard what you are already intended to buy, okay, in order to improve the product quality and service delivery. So, implementing collaborative procurement effectively. I said that in order to implement collaborative procurement effectively, the first thing you need to do is to establish clear objectives. Establish clear objectives is very important. Number two, you formulate a governance structure. Like I told you the other time, one of the things that is good for you to do is to establish a desk office that specializes in procurement. And I think most organizations have procurement departments, which is a good governance structure. Engage key stakeholders, which we just talked about. Leverage technology. There are new technologies that suppliers will advise you instead of the old one that you are used to. Then promote a culture of collaboration. Always learn to collaborate. Don't always be master of all. It must be the way I want it. No. When you collaborate, you get better advice and better results will come out. Develop a risk management plan, which we have discussed earlier on. Then establish performance metrics. So you must have a performance metrics that you are going to measure with your set objectives in future after the whole exercise. And then you share information and then apply best practices. So these are the ways and means to implement collaborations in procurement. And that brings me to class activities. Now, I'm going to take questions from here. I have actually come to the end of my lecture and my time. Okay, I've come to the end of my lecture and my time. So I think from tomorrow, my colleague, Dr. Smart Fiokoso, will take over from here. I think he has about 4 or 5 topics to also take you between tomorrow and Friday, as the case may be. So on these 3 topics we just took now, let us have questions, observations, remarks.
Question, sir.
Yes, go ahead, sir. Mr. Tete Emmanuel.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So my question is, how does child labor and forced labor contribute to human rights in workplace?
Okay, the question should be, is it right for a child to do the job of adults?
Yes, yes. What is the role? What's the relationship between the child labor and the forced labor in human rights?
The role between child labor and what?
And forced labor.
Huh?
So I said, what is the role of the child labor and forced labor in human rights workplace?
Okay. Now, like I said, it is against human rights for a child to be assigned the responsibility of an adult.
Okay.
A child the United Nations has a age bracket for a child and then age bracket for teenagers. I think adulthood starts from 18 in Nigeria. Adulthood starts from the age of 18. So whatever job you are doing, look, you go to the north, there are many children that are being forced, okay, to do the job they are not supposed to do. And then even you as adults, there are jobs that you were not employed to do, but you are being forced to do that job without adequate remunerations. So, and this goes, when you are doing such job, one, you could harm yourself. You could harm yourself. Okay, that's number one. Then number two, you may not do that job with the so you may not be able to put in your best because you are doing that job. So you are being forced to do that job. As a result, you are angry. And any job where you are angry can never give you the best result. You cannot do your best. And there are many of us that falls in that category. Okay? In your workplace environment, you are being asked to do the job you are not employed to do. So you are being forced to do it because you don't want to leave, because you don't want to lose your salary. You cannot say no. Or you may receive query, or you may they may self-pardon for you for an act of insubordination. So this goes a long way to affect the rights, your rights as a labor, as a worker in the organization.
Okay, sir. Taking, sir.
All right, thank you. Yes, who again?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, sir. Thank you. I want to talk about what are determinants that can be used to measure a supplier, to make sure that what that person is going to supply be of quality and it will not be shortchanged on the way of, of the supply chain.
Yeah. Now, in response to that question, in reacting to that question, first is it depends on your company policy. Your company policy is very important. Then number two, the type of products you are dealing with. Now, if you are going to get a supplier, what is the company's policy in suppliers selection process? Because every organization should have a supplier selection process. So it depends on your policy. Like I said, was it yesterday or thereabout? There are some suppliers, organizations, that your guy will tell you, my brothers used to supply, my brother has a company that can supply. So if you follow the organization internal policy, it does not say that you should look for your relations. You should be sentimental about your selection processes. Once you follow the rule, the ground rules, you will not fall, you will not be shortchanged. Now,
all right.
Again, it's also imperative for you to appreciate the fact that for you as your organization is supposed to have the list of all the suppliers that has connection with the product that you want to buy, both locally and internationally. So you can easily go to your system and do selections among them, and then know who you want to send invitation to, depending on the type of selection process you want to adopt.
Okay.
So, like I said the other, was it yesterday or there? I said, for instance, now in the ministry or in an organization, government organization, like what do you call him? Wike was saying the other time. Anything that Wike want to build in Abuja, for instance, he uses Julius Berger. Whether it is wrong or right. And I also told us here that the Calabar Express Road that Tinubu is constructing, the man used just one source factor. Just discovered, okay, this man has the capacity to deliver. So let us give it to him without bidding process. So it depends on the organization policy. It also depends on the human factor. Because some guys, I know so many organizations, ministries and parastatals where the director, the power secretary, even the minister will go and float their own personal organization. So any job that is coming from the ministry, they throw it to that organization. they will claim it is not. They use proxy names. So, but in an ideal situation, it's not supposed to be so. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. Yes, another question? Okay. In the absence of
we want to appreciate you for a well articulated lectures and comprehensively. We enjoyed your lecture. We hope to meet you one-on-one again. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Who is the course rep for this class?
Fine, yeah, I'm to your course.
Fine, yeah.
Okay, the person is there, right? Is the person here?
For
not
now,
at the moment. He's not in class, but somebody is standing for him now.
Okay, sorry. Can you snap this assignment and then post it on your platform? Okay. I know you are going to get the materials later. I will send the material to the HOD. So who will possibly send to your platform?
Okay, thank you, sir.
But we are going to do this assignment and are going to submit it a day before your exam.
Okay. A day before what?
I said the social norms comes in different forms that play out to any organization which have implications. I'm coming.
Okay.
I'm reading it. Social norms comes in different forms that play out in any organization. I saw it. The organization. Are you hearing me?
Oh,
yes, sir.
Congrats.
Are you hearing me?
Congrats.
Okay.
Sir, we're hearing you, sir.
Okay. So as such, the organization must understand and execute the social rights and labor laws in line with ILO and local standards, while ensuring stakeholders' engagement and collaboration in a highly competitive business environment. This is very important if the organization must attain its set procurement goals. Discuss these statements using practical experience in an upper style of writing of not more than 15 pages. Submit in hard copy on or before the last working day before the commencement of your examinations. Latest by copy at arrival. When you arrive, the last working day before you commence your exam.
Okay.
The assignment should be group assignment or
individual, please. I don't do group assignment. But when you say group assignment, 70% of the member will never contribute. So it's going to be individual. And please, I beg of you, don't copy one another. I read everything. And if you copy, I see any signs of copying, that is zero CA. So don't compromise. This is standard.
So when are we submitting it?
This is social standard. Social standard.
So when is the submission day, sir?
You just say it.
The last working day before your exam commences.
Okay.
All right. So thank you guys, women and men.
Are you giving the slide to the class?
Thank you, sir. He just said it. He said it.
I have said so now.
Very much. We are grateful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. We really appreciate it.
I'll be waiting and hoping to see you guys physically.
We can't wait too, sir. We can't wait too, sir.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you very much, sir.
All right, thank you.
Have a blessed week.
And you too.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah.
Bye-bye, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Is there lecture at 1 o'clock?
After the lecture, after going more, stop.
He has finished for the day. He has
There
finished.
won't be 1
Another
o'clock
person.
lectures then.
There's no 1 o'clock. He has finished for today.
It's okay.
We will start from tomorrow with a different lecturer.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Okay. Bye-bye.
How's the refreshment? Ibrahim, you pray for the class.
Just go to the nearby shop and take a bottle of mineral for yourself. Send the bill to me. Thank you.
The class has ended.
Wow.
Yes, you can end the class.
Okay, bye.
I think they are